At this point, it's pretty much accepted that 2010 was a good year for Republicans. The GOP picked up more than 60 House seats to take control of the majority. Now, in New York, Democrats lost 6 congressional seats that they won back in 2008. 5 of those were in largely rural upstate districts. And so when members of the Democratic Rural Conference get together tomorrow for their annual meeting, they might be licking their wounds just a little bit. However, they will get a pep talk from one of their favorite sons, Governor Andrew Cuomo, along with several other statewide Democratic officials. And among those who will be in attendance tomorrow is the Greene County Chairman, Tom Polker. He's joining us in the studio tonight for a bit of a preview. Chairman, he's my chairman because I live in Greene County, so it's good to see you again.
Good to be here with you again.
And you're making your one-year anniversary debut because we did a little preview with you the last time around, and then we both hiked out to Niagara Falls.
Yes.
A little less activity.
Yes.
No straw poll this year. That's what brought everybody down there. What exactly, I mean, it's going to be a little bit difficult because you have to regroup from last year. The congressional elections, as I mentioned, did not go well. So what will your focus be?
Well, our focus is on unity and victory, keeping our members and our troops motivated, educated, and you know, we just keep fighting the fight. It's an ongoing process. You know, you're right. We did have some setbacks and losses in the House seats, and many of them were very close. Though, if you look at the numbers,
that's true.
There were several that could have gone either way. And being a midterm election, there are a lot of nuances. There were effects on those races that you certainly didn't see on the statewide or on the United States Senate races. Senator Gillibrand and Senator Schumer did extremely well.
They did.
Very strong margins.
But by contrast, though, the state Senate flipped too.
Yes, yes, and that you know, I could expand on that a little. I think the dysfunction and a lot of the problems from both sides created a lot of ill will out there, and there were nuances, and I look at it across the state and realize that if you, as I said, well, let's start with the congressionals. The congressionals, one race, I think it was the Maffei race, that was only about 700 votes.
It was very, very close. Yep.
And if you look in my district, Scott Murphy, that was a 23,000 vote loss as opposed to a win of 700 or 800 votes previously. But you know, the things that were going on in Washington, the health issue, the health care issue, and you know, sort of that anti-Obama for the first 2 years was a. But
here's the thing, and here's what's good for you, right? In 2012. You have the bonus of having Obama back at the top of the ticket,
yes,
which will draw out some Democrats who don't usually come out in off years. The midterms are wonky. You just don't know what's going to happen. The problem is that, you know, he's really not very popular at this moment. I mean, you see a poll out today from Marist that shows his lowest marks ever on handling the economy on a national level. So it's good in New York, perhaps, because it's a Democrat-dominated state. But perhaps not as good nationally and an outlook for the president.
Yes, but a lot of things can change very quickly in politics, as you know, Liz.
That is true.
And I think things are going in the right direction. There's a lot of work being done across the aisle, and I mean, they're building and building for the future.
What about redistricting? Are you concerned? I mean, it looks like now we know that New York is going to be losing 2 seats. One of those seats is going to have to come out of the hide of upstate New York. Is that a concern for rural Democrats because of representation? I mean, it looks like because of the population loss, the districts that are already quite large are going to get even larger. I mean, from a representation standpoint, is that something that worries you?
To a certain extent, but most importantly, I just hope it's a fair process. I hope that we have the independent redistricting that Governor Cuomo has been espousing and people committed to prior to the election, and some of them seem to be reneging.
Right.
You know, that troubles me. But yes, if you look upstate and you look at some of these senatorial districts and some of the congressional districts, they're really a bit out of whack. And we're just hoping that you know, and this is one of the key planks along with the tax cap and along with the ethics reform that our governor is working very hard on moving forward, you know, now that the budget is done.
He's going to be there.
Yes.
And he will be there. He made a little bit of a victory lap last time in Niagara Falls, and we were surprised. We weren't sure exactly if it was going to be there. He, at the time, was not an announced candidate, yet he was unanimously supported and endorsed by the rural Democrats. He got his only win in 2002 from the rural Democrats during the primary against Carl McCall when he dropped out 1 week before the election. This time around, of course, he's a huge hero for everyone, except for the fact that the left is not thrilled with him. You guys trend a little bit more conservative, so do you think that maybe he'll be receiving a warmer reception than he might say in a very liberal, heavy area like New York City?
I think he's going to receive a very strong welcome and reception. You know, it's a new day in town. Governor Cuomo made believers out of a lot of people. For the first time in 25 years, we came through with, he did what he said he was going to do, and we came through with an on-time budget. It's resonating throughout rural New York that we have a leader who says what he believes and does what he says. I feel very strongly.
Did they, just sorry to interrupt you, but do you think that rural Democrats feel that he is paying enough attention to their problems, to upstate problems?
Yes.
You do?
I certainly do. With Lieutenant Governor Duffy heading up the economic development program, that's a very strong message that they're redefining the Lieutenant Governor's role and working very closely with Governor Cuomo. It's a very important issue for us upstate. Even though I'm in the Hudson Valley and below Albany, if you look at some of these counties, or you could take from Albany out to Buffalo, there was a lot of work started by Senator Clinton in economic development, but Governor Cuomo was keyed right in, and with Lieutenant Governor Duffy, I know they have programs to move forward, and I'm sure will remedy a lot of the unemployment situations and turn things around, frankly.
So, okay, I think we're going to run out of time fairly quickly, unfortunately, but I just, I noticed that we're looking here, both of us have it, at the agenda for tomorrow, and you have a baseball theme. What's up with that?
It's you know, it's baseball season.
Oh, I see.
In effect, what we're doing, and you know, part of our message and part of our work with the Rural Conference is to educate our people out there in these rural counties, to give them assistance, to bring them along, just as we did in this last election. Although voter turnout was low, we were energized strongly by the governor and his people, and with our county chairs and county state committee people working with the state party, we were able to help the governor come in with this mandate throughout the state, his listening tour, visiting many of the counties, and getting people behind him. And that effectively brought the same numbers in for Senator Gillibrand and Senator Schumer. You know, we feel that his message is resonating through upstate and energizing our rural Democrats.
Well, we'll be covering this conference. Nick Reisman will be there, I believe. And I want to thank you, Chairman, for coming in on your birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. It's
Thank you so
very
much.
nice to see you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to my 40th next year.
Okay.
Thank you.